vote. For more on that, I'm joined by Jean Saint Vil. He is the founding member of the Canada Haiti Action Network. He joins me now from Ottawa. Jean Saint Vil, good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning.
I want to ask you how closely Haitian Canadians are watching this, because there's a good-sized community in Montreal and in Ottawa. So how much attention are they paying to this election?
A lot of attention. I mean, people are tuning in to the internet, trying to listen to live Haitian radio, broadcasting from the internet to know exactly what's going on the ground. People are calling their family members because we realize that this is not going to be the election that we wanted. And
why not? In what sense?
Well, because the very people who participated in annulling the last election, that is the 2000 elections, by taking out the 7,000 elected officials, are the ones organizing and supervising this election. I'm talking about the United States, France, Canada, and the Organization of American States. So there's a lack of credibility in this election because it's obvious that there's been a campaign over the last 2 years to marginalize the pool. For instance, polling stations where we had 10,000 polling stations in 2000, now they've reduced it to 840. And of course, the poor are the ones who have to walk 2 hours to get to polling stations. So people in Haiti are watching this, and what we heard is that the people in the poor neighborhoods have decided that they don't trust the system. So what they're going to do, they're going to vote and take to the streets and stay there to make clear to the world that they have chosen their leader and they don't want another coup d'etat in Haiti.
It sounds like it has the potential for a recipe for disaster. In other words, people will cast their vote, and if they don't see the result they want, then there could be violence in the streets. Is that the fear?
That is a fear, because what is being tried in Haiti is to impose minority rule in a very politicized population. For instance, when the coup took place 2 years ago, the fallacy that was out there was that it was a popular revolt against Jean-Bertrand Aristide and whatever. And now, the show on CBC News World presented the other day, it's obvious that it is the Americans and their allies who decided to do regime change in Haiti. And the irony of it all is that currently the front runner in this election, although they tried everything to eliminate the majority of the population, is a former Lavalas president.
So what is the best that you and other Haitian Canadians can hope for from this election today?
Well, Haiti, like any other nation in the world, cannot progress without political stability. And what we can hope is that as a result of this election, the United States, Canada, and France will finally understand that it is useless to try to impose minority rule on Haitians. And basically, if we can have a period where an elected Haitian president can have 5 years to complete his mandate, replaced by another one, Haiti will finally have an opportunity to tap into its vast resources of Haitians living all over the world.
But
you know, there are people who went, with all their economies, left Europe, Africa, North America, and went back to Haiti when Aristide was elected the first time. And the same would happen if we get a break from the Washington-based coup d'etats.
But as you're talking, we're looking at pictures of life in Haiti, in the slums of Port-au-Prince and elsewhere. And what strikes observers is that the depth of poverty and the problems that Haiti faces are so significant, you wonder if any elected body would be able to create the environment that would allow Haiti to construct a viable democracy.
Well, if Haiti is left alone, I'm sure we can get out of this thing. The poverty that you see in Haiti is 500 years old. The country was created by Africans who were enslaved by Europe, and it is their sweat and blood that enriched Europe and North America. And of course, Haiti is poor, and everybody knew that Haiti was poor. And I smile when I hear people pretending now that they're just discovering the poverty of Haiti.
But Haiti had a revolt against slavery 200 years ago and threw off the shackles of slavery, and yet life arguably isn't much better there.
Because the nations that built their economies on slavery ganged up on Haiti immediately and never ceased. And the white minority in Haiti has strong allies in United States and Europe. And as you can see, they're trying to prop up a white Haitian named Henri Baker, who is connected to André Apaid, who is connected with Canadian businesses like Gildan Activewear, which in the past 2 years, just like you see the poverty increase in Haiti, Gildan Activewear has made millions of dollars in profit because they increased their operations in Haiti during that same period. That's the reality. That's the analysis that never gets to make it to the news. So Haiti's reality is not just an internal one. It's an international crime scene. And the Haitian conflicts that are real, that are based on conflicts that exist all around the world, are exacerbated by the involvement of the United States. For instance, while we're saying that there's this peacekeeping force in Haiti for the past 2 years, according to the Geneva-based Small Arms Survey, there has been more arms getting into Haiti in the past 2 years than the 10 years previous. So that means we're not really having peacekeeping. And these guns, according to the Washington Post, are actually coming from Florida.
It
so,
is.
You know, we cannot be saying that we want Haitians to have peace and have foreign powers investing in the destabilization of Haiti. We just have an election here in Canada. Haitians want to have peaceful transitions just like we just enjoyed here in Canada.
Well, and I'm sure Haitian Canadians and Canadians generally hope that that will be achieved today, or at least a step in that direction. Jean Saint Vil, good talking to you this morning. Thank you very much for your time.
I appreciate the invitation. Thank you.